Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Saggy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general reads. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that's just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week this week, you have the Death card. So Scorpio had this card in the same position, and what I said to them was, this is going to be a week where in some way, shape or form, in all of these sectors of your life, there's something that you're closing down, something that you're choosing to release or to let go of. And this is all about really finding the path to transformation. Is very rarely easy, but it is always worth it. All right, so what this suggests to me as well, there are going to be some moments this week where you have some probably quite big decisions to make. Now, even if those big decisions don't necessarily affect anything too big on the external plane, it does suggest that they will be things that kind of ripple out, right? When we make big changes on the internal, I'm sure you all know this by now, especially if you've been with me long enough. When you make big changes on the internal planes of, you know, the heart space, the energy, the emotions, or the mind, those will filter out into the world around you, and they will start to bring the changes that align your life with the changes that you've made and adapted. Sometimes the change that needs to be had is that something needs to be ended, released, assimilated as well, right? And the way that we assimilate something is by remembering, or by realizing, I guess, that something is ended, that it's over, that it's finished, right? Doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Maybe this is getting rid of a bad habit for some of you. You know, maybe you stop smoking, maybe you stop drinking, you know, maybe you, I don't know, I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad to eat meat, but maybe you stop eating meat. Like, there's something that's coming to an end this week, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, my relationship's ending, or, you know, my job, I've just been fired, or it doesn't have to be those things. With that said, if you haven't got your seat for the winter solstice, you can get yours on the link in the description box below. Please don't forget to check it out. And the reason being, I have two very special guests this year. I've got Heather from Astrology with Heather. I have Denise from Human Design with Denise, who did the Venus retrograde special with me. So if you want to see their takes on what 2022 has in store for us and how to get ahead for the year ahead, astrology, numerology, tarot, future life progression, human design, there's going to be a whole bunch of everything. All right, it'd be great to have you. For your actions and options, you got the Three of Cups, right? So for some of you, there's a few ways that this could play out. One, this could be you saying, you know what, it's time to stop partying so much. I mean, on the run up to the holiday season, not sure how feasible that is, but you know, it might definitely be there for some of you. This could also be for a lot of you, maybe you're choosing to release some aspect of your past, whether this is an old relationship, an old tie, maybe it's the realization that something has run its course. Maybe that's a friendship, maybe it's a job, maybe it is an idea. The thing is, with the Three of Cups in your in your actions and options, this is going to see you wanting to enjoy yourself, right? And sometimes in order to do that, we have to let go of what's not allowing us to do so. So in some way, shape or form, this could be a time where you're phasing things out. You might also be really looking at your social circle at the moment and asking yourself, okay, what or who is getting my time and my energy that doesn't really deserve it or shouldn't have it? Where is it that maybe, you know, this could be a week where you're asking yourself where you're being distracted or by whom. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Fool card. So I often say new things, new places, new people with this card, and it is those things. But very often the Fool card shows us where something new is trying to be seeded into our lives. Because this comes through the conversations and the communications for you, I wonder if this week somebody suggests something to you that really, it gets you to see things in a very different perspective, and possibly in one that could be, you know, it is the Fool card after all. You might have a conversation, and then when you get thinking about it later, you could think, holy crap, you know, it's one of those things like, you know, sometimes you have a conversation with someone and then like 2 days later, you know, just before you're about to go to bed, your eyes go blink and you're like, oh my gosh, like, and you don't even realize what it was that was being said at the time, but it takes time to percolate. Something is being introduced into your life this week, but it's going to require the fuel for this thing to be born into your life comes from the release of something that now needs to be cut out or left behind. And for those of you that are employed, one of the ways that I kind of see this as well, I mean, yes, it could be the end of the job that you're currently doing. This could see you going in a very different direction from now on. It could see you, you know, maybe you're deciding to dedicate more time to a job that actually fulfills what you really want, right? Well, a job that really fulfills your passions. Now, it is through the guise of the Fool card, which suggests that at the moment, things are probably ticking over quite nicely, but at some point something new is going to step in and you'll be feeling really quite drawn or driven by that. For those of you that are self-employed business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc., people that work for themselves, it's the Fool card, right? So there's a leap of faith energy behind this card, and it's not even so much a leap of faith. It asks you to do something that you've never done before. And you know, what's that? There's a line that I see floating around on the internet all the time, and it's like, have the courage to suck at something new. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, what? And it's great because it's so true, right? Whenever we start something new, whenever we go in a new direction, things are shaky. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen a toddler walk? Hilarious. They look like drunk mini adults. But all jokes aside, whatever we do in the beginning, it's always a little bit kind of haphazard, a bit all over the place, but we find our stride and we find it over time. This week, you know, if you are self-employed or you do work for yourself, etc., something that you're trying to do or some way that you're trying to go, you might not have all the answers and it may not look pretty all the time, but if you know this is the right thing for you, have the courage and the heart to go after it, right? The Fool card always suggests that the universe is supporting you in your new endeavor. When it comes to your for those of you that are retired or for those of you that are retired or no longer working, this is really about what you do with your time from here on in. And this is very likely to connect you with young people in some way, shape or form. The Fool card for me is Uranus ruled, and it has a very youthful energy about it, right? It can be young people, it can be babies, it can be conception, but there's a very youthful energy in the Fool card. And so this week you could be tapped into that. Maybe you're spending time around young people and it reminds you how much you love to teach, how much you love to educate, how much you want to learn. Maybe something new that you want to learn shows up as a result of interacting with young people, the youth in some way, shape or form. For your love and relations, you've got the King of Pentacles. This is actually a great card. What I love most about it is it suggests that your relationship takes on a much more powerful material existence. So this could be that, you know, maybe your partner's finances really start to increase, maybe your finances start to really increase, and that now means like whatever's happening to the collective pot of money is really good for both of you, because it means you can elevate some of your plans, or maybe you can fast track some of your plans. You might be able to simply just enjoy more of your time, more of your effort, maybe more of your home together. This is nice. It's really nice. For those of you that are single, Fool card coupled with a Court card is always someone that you don't know, and it is somebody that's about to change your life, usually for the better, right? I kind of get, for a lot of you though that are single, a lot of you feel like you're newly single. And you know, when you're newly single, like when you've just split up with someone and you're kind of in that place where, you know, everything's good, it's ticking over, you kind of feel lonely at times, but you're really not interested in another relationship, right? And you're like, no, this is it, you know, me, myself and that. Like, you know, you're in that space of just really being very clear cut about what you want and where you're going and all the rest of it, that's usually the time at which somebody shows up. And this feels like that kind of energy. Whoever this person is, I can tell you they're steady, they're very stable. Anybody that comes through as the King of Pentacles usually is. What I often say about this though is this is somebody that's very predictable, that likes things the way that they like them. And I mean, you know, you've got this Three of Cups, which suggests that there's a lot of banter there. You laugh really well, maybe you communicate really well. It does kind of suggest to me though that you're going to have to think about that for the long term. Because I see Sagittarians, you guys are wild, right? You're free animals, free people. And this King of Pentacles is a bit more linear, right? So it's you're going to have to find a way to navigate this. All in all though, it's quite nice, right? You're just going to have to find a way to manage it. For your money and materials, you've got the Nine of Wands, and you've got this underneath the Fool card. I'm really sorry to say this, but that does look like a surprise expense. One that you're probably not expecting, right? So this could be something that comes completely left of field, completely out of the blue. And it's like, oh crap, you know, suddenly I've got to take my car into the shop, or, you know, the washing machine blows up, or not blows up, but you know what I mean? Like this could be something that's unexpected. It doesn't look to be something that's going to be super expensive, but it's just really really inconvenient. And it looks like it might happen at a time that is really inconvenient. So if you know there's something in your house that needs repairing or replacing, or you think, you know, I think that might be on its way out, this week I would check it before it gets to that point and it happens at a moment that you can't do anything about it. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your Nine of Wands is usually your back. Interestingly enough, as I said that, my left shoulder down here kind of twinged. So for those of you that have, you know, touch wood, challenges or issues with your back, specifically your upper back, this week, strengthening exercises. I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but seek out somebody that can help you with that if you know this is something you're prone to. The other thing with the Nine of Wands as well, it can sometimes, I've seen this represent accidents. So be careful with your person this week, all right? And then finally, when it comes to your home and your environment, I wonder if this new person is moving in and at first they really get your goat, right? And this could be somebody that ends up giving, because Saggies will go there with you, you know, like, yes, they're all about integrity and heart and all the rest of it, but Saggies are about it, man. Like, they're one of those, you know, this, I don't know if you've ever seen that meme, it says the signs that talk a big game, but when it comes down to it, like, you know, won't do shit. And then signs that are quiet but will signs that are secretly quiet but then will beat your ass. Saggy is one of those signs. Like, yeah, everyone thinks, oh, you know, they're happy and jovial and they, you know, they talk a good game, but Saggies will go there with you when they're ready. This kind of feels like maybe somebody's moving in, maybe moving into the neighborhood that you kind of clash with, maybe at the start, but eventually may, you know, be either a really good friend, or quite possibly, if you're single and looking and it's that, you know, you could be so you've got the gate 17 and opinions for your full moon message. So what I will say to you is there are many paths to the truth, right? And this is like the whole religious debate, right? If you took all of the religions of the world, put them into a sieve and shook the whole thing out, you'd probably end up with about 5 pages that were pure truth, pure or that everybody would be able to agree on in all spaces and all races. Unfortunately, we don't have that because, you know, human race and common sense, but whatever. This full moon is happening in your 7th house, technically, which is all to do with your partnerships, your relationships. This is all to do with, you know, how you interact with the others in the world and how they mirror back to you who or what you present yourself as. This full moon could speak quite powerfully to you around that. So just be aware that whatever comes up if it irks you or it gets under your skin in some way, it may be a reflection of something that you've already put out into the world. Take a moment to consider this, because that death card might show you what it is that you need to release or relinquish. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care and all the best for the holiday season.